understand that the video is about the idea that the man creates the idea of a perfect woman, a virtuous woman, essentially, the Virgin Mary in his mind. And she becomes the whole purpose of his life. And society encourages this. And it's part of, Christian ideology. It really is. The man is the Christ figure, and he is also the patriarchal Abrahamic figure. And he really is, because he's a working, sacrificing machine. And the woman is supposed to respect him, and they're supposed to build a family. But when the technology and the institutions become so great, because the men are such great builders and sacrificers, the women become entitled, and they don't care about the men anymore. And it kills the motivation of the men to maintain the society, because they can't have even a decent woman anymore. And it only lasts for a few more generations after that. So that's what the video is about. And it says, that's what we're experiencing right now. So here's a comment that was left by Ivan Says Hi. And here's what he has to say. He says, the way I see it, for the man, the carrot at the end of the stick is the holy woman. Nowadays, that visage has been well and thoroughly stripped. The illusion is broken for men when the lady they are supposed to chase and suffer and sacrifice for has spent her 20s and 30s riding and indeed hating the bottom, deriding and indeed hating the bottom 95% of men, while 10 women an evening take turns riding a single Chad. Then, when she turns 40 and the booty calls slow down and stop, and Chad is no longer interested on one-night stands with her, then you will have the privilege of marrying an old, bitter, and resentful woman who will never love you like she loved that hot young billionaire, European prince that she had one-night stand with that one time almost 20 years prior. She will always hate you because you will never be as rich as that one guy she fucked in college, or as handsome as that other guy that she fucked at a business party. Your romance will not be as bright and passionate as her first love in high school. You will always be her N+1 to her, and she will hate you because she feels like she is forced to settle and could do better despite all of her efforts being fruitless. Damn, right? There's a bleak picture, but at least it's honest, huh? But at least you got married. And even if she doesn't love you, at least you could share all that love in your heart with her and start a family, right? Well, having kids at 40 is going to cost 10 times, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in medicines and treatments, all for a low chance of having an extremely high-risk pregnancy and, in the best case scenario, having one single healthy child. Yay, you did it. As a man, you have worked really hard all your life while she was partying and fucking every guy within a 30-mile radius to make a small fortune for yourself so that you and your family can live comfortably. But wait, she's, quote, not happy, unquote, anymore, and is getting a divorce. She takes your kids, probably accuses you of abuse, and wins child support and alimony. But this point, you are so longer... But at this point, you are no longer the spring chicken that you used to be. With age, your health is starting to fail, and your energy and cognition aren't what they used to be. Huh? But she encouraged you to work extra hours and bring in as much money as possible the year before the divorce. And now the judge has ordered you to pay that huge sum to her for all the rest of her life and to take out a huge life insurance plan for yourself, all in her name, just in case something happens to you. You spend the rest of your life slaving away at a job you can't leave, working ridiculous hours despite your age, all so that you can live in your house. You don't live there, but that withstanding, you live in a small apartment on the bad side of town, watch TV all day. Also that she can live in your house, but you don't live there. You live in a small apartment on the bad side of town. She's watching TV all day and fucking the pool cleaning guy on the weekends. You win extra big if you get to see your kids for one day every other week. Yay. Feminists have overplayed their hand and underestimated how little men will invest and spend in society without women there to motivate them. Women drive 99% of consumer activity, but without men giving them the money, well, guess what happens to the global economy? MGTOW is the necessary counter-reaction to gynocentrism, but it is also the death of society. I, for one, am just going to live for myself and enjoy the decline. Well, there you go. And you see, I gave it a thumbs up, and I love the comment. It's a hard comment, but it's a truthful comment. The question isn't, can you save society? The question is, can you still have a good life given, what's happened here? And the answer to that is yes, of course you could. Shit, you could even find a decent woman. Well, I don't know about that. But you know what I mean? You could still have a full, rich, good life. Almost in every way you wanted. And it's incumbent upon you. It's obvious now that you have to do it. You know what I mean? Gone is this illusion that you're going to get together with this perfect woman and build this perfect family. She's getting together with you out of necessity. She likes you until, something better comes along. They'll stab you in the back. They'll cheat you. They'll throw you away. You are disposable to them, largely. And yet you're sold this other, kind of situation where, you're the protector and the provider and the hero and the sacrificer. And you're expected. It's not just like, oh, and, you're some dumb guy who holds on to those old tradcon beliefs. No, that's not what it is, okay? That is, you are conditioned to behave in this manner. And any time that you step out of that behavior, the entire system looks at you like you're a piece of garbage and, that you're a monster. So it's not just, and you're just some stupid tradcon. No, and you are biologically bound to the bitch. Your whole physiology is tied to this whole situation. You wonder why you're all depressed? Huh. That's not hard to figure out. Okay, so there's that comment. There's some replies. Great sermon, well said, Ivan. I now live 54, live for myself, and enjoy the decline also. Thank you, brother. I calls it like I sees it. Ivan says, well done. No need to be a tradcon and try to save the dumpster fire of a society. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what can you do? But you can save your own life, and you can still have a good life. Like, you don't have to, quit and give up. You know what I mean? You can still do all the things you wanted to do. Susie Q says, are you okay? Right? She's worried about him. She cares. Excuse me. Ivan says, I'm all right. Thank you for asking. I wish no ill will towards anyone, women included. I wish everyone would find peace in their journey. I am just warning men not to end up like a close friend of mine to whom this sermon was loosely based around. Yeah, well, it's loosely based around the life of millions of men, too. Thank you, Ivan. His life is essentially over, and he isn't even that old. Terribly sad, really. Yeah, well, and it's what happens to most of us as well. Frank says, men have started to realize it's not worth it. Even the top 5% of men are rooting and booting. The price is not worth it. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Yeah. Ivan responds, this is fun fact, the top 5% of men are so disillusioned with women that they will never marry a Western woman. I've known people who are short, fat, and not necessarily particularly good looking, but in a club, when he whispers how much money he makes, if a girl gets ear, her face lights up like a Christmas tree. And of course, she, and sometimes multiple women, all at once end up spending the night at his place. Once you've seen how women behave in the West, you just can't keep up the mental image of a woman being this soft and innocent and caring creature in your head. If pretty girls were doing what I witnessed when they were 20 to 25, just imagine what they have done by the time they are 35 to 40. And they're 100% the opposite of innocent and naive. And as a bonus, by this age, they have mastered manipulation techniques and become bitter. Modern women are nothing like the girls in anime and TV. Be warned, men. They pretend to be weak and innocent, but in reality, they are strong and scheming. It's worse than that. I need to add to this. How do we put this? If this were a physical fight, as a man, you would win. This is not a physical fight. This is an emotional, psychological, social, political fight. okay? And one-on-one, you don't stand a chance in hell. If men and women are equals in the social and political sphere, then you lose as a man because you're not pretty and nobody wants to sleep with you and nobody's looking at your boobs. So if it's equal, okay, between you and a woman, then you as a man, you lose because she's pretty and other people want to take care of her. So what you think of as a fair fight is you don't stand a chance in hell. You really don't. You don't know how many jobs you have lost, been fired from, and failed to get. You don't know how many grades you've been cheated out of. You don't know how many friendships you've been cheated out of based on a woman saying something behind your back. And when I say that, I mean that it's happened hundreds of times and you just didn't know about it. Not that it may have happened once or twice. No, it happened. That's what they do. Okay, moving on with what he says. He says, where I live, I would say 80 to 90% of the young men in the financial industry are red-pilled. When you have lots of money, you see what female nature is firsthand. No dude is going to put a ring on a girl unless he is so financially independent that even the family court can only reach maybe 10 to 20% of their wealth. Yeah. And at that point, the wives realize that if they try to divorce rape, they may end up with nothing compared to the lifestyle that they have when married. Only the top 0.1% of wealthy men can risk trying a marriage relatively safely. And even those men are choosing not to marry. Isn't that the truth? You know? And this is what I was saying, you know, in an earlier video. The only chance you stand is to rise up to such a level as a man that nobody would really fuck with you. You know what I mean? That it would be like, and you can't even really do that. You know what I mean? Like has Trump pulled that one off? Not really. So it's kind of like an illusion. But you see, I get all this insight from men all over the world, and you can tell that they're really intelligent and, you know, they thought about this and they're really articulate and they expressed it and they've got some real life examples and, you know, all their knowledge and all their wisdom. And it comes through the Howard Dare channel because I get, you know, contact from men all over the world. And this is not, hey, I'll give you $50 for a video. This is real people saying really things that happened in their lives. You know what I mean? This is not a scam. And I hate to just let it go. I hate to just see it and be like, yeah, man, great comment. You know, it's like, damn. This is what's happening for the men. This is what they're suffering through. This is what they're dealing with. And this has nothing to do with requesting a video. You know what I mean? No offense. I'm just saying this is real life suffering that men are going through. Not some sort of, you know, popularity ploy. So I feel the need to come on and, you know, to mention these things and to talk about these things. And it must be so boring for you guys.